Hey folks, and welcome to another video from aplaintruth.info. This is September 8th, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I don't know if you've read this book by Alan Weisman, The World Without Us, but that was a very interesting book I read a few years ago. But now with all that's going on and the hurricanes that they've lined up and geoengineered back to back to back across the Atlantic, we just had a massive earthquake, massive 8.1. I'm using that word all the time now, massive, because everything's gotten massive. We're in Jupiter time. Everything's expanding. 8.1 earthquake in Mexico. So is this the next part of the rat-pocalypse that's happening now? America's on the verge of a rat-pocalypse. 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 So is America on the verge of a rat-pocalypse now? This is an article from just the other day, and they're seeing huge spikes in rodents. It's a rodent crisis. Out here in California, I've had to have exterminators come out. I've got rats all over the place. Everybody's having the same problems. The heat apparently is causing this, but it's an infestation of many types. But what I want to get into after we start talking about is the hype, the fear porn, all this going on with the next hurricane coming in. They give you plenty of days notice, and look at the almost 750,000 people told to evacuate, biggest evacuation in history. People are just stuck. They can't go anywhere. This is all part of their test, folks. This is how they're just telling everybody to get out, leave their homes. Can you imagine if you had to leave your home and leave all your things and just get out? That's what's happening right now off the coast of Florida, and there's talk that they could be bringing it up for 9/11 event in New York City, and we'll discuss that in another vid. But today I want to get into this work by Truth Channel, who's showing us that the weather being shown on NOAA images is not the same weather shown on other weather imaging sites. And we'll get into that right now. And so are they creating the hurricanes just as they come on shore, and they're deceiving us by telling us they're creating it all the way across the oceans, and it's taking days and days at slow miles an hour, yet they could predict it from many days in advance that it's going to be the massive category beyond category 6 the hit, and after Hurricane Harvey, and we got Katia behind it and Jose behind it. Weather wars, folks. So let's get into it, what this lady is presenting and showing us how they're just playing with our minds.
So I'm taking my time on this, but I really want to show you that this is a huge storm here that is literally going through this area right now. The eye of the storm is passing over these areas, and it should be, the storm itself should start showing up here. And I'm going to keep filming this because there should be an eye of a hurricane right here. See these right here? That's this one right here. The eye of the hurricane should be right below here. So we should see some weather here. We should see something, and we're not seeing anything. And we're not seeing anything here at all. Nothing. Let's center this thing again. Not seeing anything here. And once again, weather.com will load. On the radars here, I'm at 2:15 a.m. on Friday morning, September 8th. And as you can see, we are on the weather.com National Radar Interactive site here. And we can see that the storm that was in Havana has dissipated. The storm that was over to the west of Miami in the Keys is pretty much dissipated. We have this little thing moving around Puerto Rico here, which doesn't look much like a hurricane, considering it's already passed there, according to what our fraudulent friends in CGIville here of NASA goes satellite. And you can see that this hurricane is now passing through these islands here over to the north of Cuba, but the storm itself should be at least visible on some of the radar parts that would show up on this peninsula, and I think this is the Bahamas, I'm not exactly sure, but the eye of the storm is definitely, it's passed over Dominican Republic and Haiti and Puerto Rico, so it's well past these. So it should have shown up on weather.com, because we do see these little storms here in Puerto Rico, outside the Dominican Republic. We see the storms in Havana. We see these little storms outside of Miami, and yes, those are the Bahamas Islands. So there should be a huge hurricane just blitzing right through here right now. Let's see what IntelliCast says. IntelliCast is the same. Let me scroll up a little bit so you can see the time. I'm going to hit reset as soon as this browser settles. Okay, I'm going to hit reset on this so you can notice the time up here. We go 12 to 1:45, so that's a half an hour late. Oh no, it goes to 2 a.m. Okay, good, so it's only 15 minutes late. Okay, but as you can see, these storms, there's no hurricane here. They might cook one up. They might get one going. They've been doing some crazy stuff here, and I'll show you that in the other national radar in a minute. But there is no hurricane here. Here we've got the Dominican Republic and Haiti and Bahamas. There's some storms here, like we saw here, kind of building up a little bit north of Puerto Rico, and a little bit somewhere out in the Keys, I guess, between Havana and Keys. So let's drag this carefully over to the Gulf. And it looks like this is going to take a second to catch up here, but you can see there's no storm here. There's no hurricane there. And I'll take you to the national radar, because this one is one that's kind of blowing my mind. This is the center here for you. This is the radar at weather.gov, CONUS full light loop. And I'm going to reload this page just so you can see that the timing will take us to close to the present time. And I'll slowly scroll over so it won't freak out on me. And look at what the heck they're doing over here. I mean, look at this. There must be some sort of a major transmitter here. I think this is Brownsville or something. I don't know the name of the city, but I've seen it make some crazy weather before, and there were some harp rings here earlier, so they're cooking something up. I wouldn't be surprised if something does develop there, but there is no hurricane that we can see, unless that's my dog snoring in the background. And you look here, here we go again. There is no, there's no hurricane here. And the eye of the hurricane should be going right through here. So let's take a look at that again. Let's just take a peek at what our buddies at NASA, our fraudulent friends at NASA's CGI-ville are showing us. I'll try and get this side by side if I can. So we've got... There's no hurricane here, guys. So that's my update, even if this isn't looking so great, but that's the update. No hurricane on national radar as of yet. Okay, there we go. It's moving, but there's no hurricane here.
Telling us what's going on right now, right? They are geoengineering these storms. God knows if it's to make it worse or to make it better, okay? But it was predicted, right, on these Illuminati cards. And not only that, one of our subscribers brought to our attention the fact that in the movie The Day After Tomorrow, which is basically the same illustration the card uses, that's why I'm connecting both of these things. That's why I want you to share this right now, because this is possibly what's going to happen in the near future. So what we have is in the movie Day After Tomorrow, they have a weather prediction for the same hurricane pattern we're having right now. Folks, this is very, very big, very serious. This is no coincidence at all. This was predicted, or it's by design, and they are doing it right now. So what's happening is we have a bunch of places being evacuated, right? And we have possibly the New World Order taking place right now. I take a look at the movie The Day After Tomorrow. They show us 3 hurricanes in the same formation that is going on right now, right? So the east side, I'm sorry, is being hit by huge hurricanes, and the west side is being hit by fires. So what's going to happen, they're asking for people to evacuate both sides. What's going to happen is they are going to gather up in the middle, or something's going to happen. But I believe that this is the moment that FEMA and whatever organization is doing this JDAM or whatever task it is, right? People are missing. It's huge. You know, people are, well, it's bad. It's bad, folks. It's really bad.
So let's wrap it up for today here. And I wanted to ask you in the comments section what you guys think and ladies think about the NOAA creating these faked images, it looks like, with this truth channel proving that on these other stations and Telecast and others, they're not even showing the hurricanes. So are the hurricanes being made with offshore ships and Doppler radars and then being brought on shore and steered right off the coast as they come in? Or is it like Weather War 101 is stating that they're starting in Africa and they're being brought all the way across? They can identify the hurricanes from a little tiny blip days and days and days away and shoot it all the way across the Atlantic Oceans and then accurately predict where it's going to hit, how it's going to hit, how strong it's going to be days and days in advance. Love to hear your opinions in the comment section. I haven't figured this one out yet. Anyway, we'll be next video is going to be on air-based hurricane steering mechanisms and plain truth out. Peace. Almost 750,000 people told to evacuate, biggest evacuation in history. People are just stuck. They can't go anywhere. This is all part of their test, folks. This is how they're just telling everybody to get out, leave their homes. Can you imagine if you had to leave your home and leave all your things and just get out? That's what's happening right now. Now with all that's going on and the hurricanes that they've lined up and geoengineered back to back to back across the Atlantic. We just had a massive earthquake, massive 8.1. I'm using that word all the time now, massive, because everything's gotten massive. We're in Jupiter time. Everything's expanding. 8.1 earthquake in Mexico. So is this the next part of the Hey folks, and welcome to another video from plaintruth.info. This is September 8th, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I don't know if you've read this book by Alan Weissman, The World Without Us, but that was a very interesting book I read a few years ago. But now, out here in California, I've had to have exterminators come out. I've got rats all over the place. Everybody's having the same problems. The heat apparently is causing this, but it's an infestation of many types. But what I want to get into after we start talking about is the hype, the fear porn, all this going on with the next hurricane coming in. They give you plenty of days notice, and look at the rat apocalypse that's happening now. America's on the verge of a rat apocalypse. rat apocalypse. So is America on the verge of a rat apocalypse now? This is an article from just the other day, and they're seeing huge spikes in rodents. It's a rodent crisis.